So this is the Unit 5, Birth of a Modern Age, and we got 20 key figures, so we have a lot. So from the Renaissance, we got the Medici family, Catherine and Lorenzo the Magnificent. They were very wealthy. They used their wealth to support the arts and learning in Florence, and we call that support patronage. We got Leonardo da Vinci, the Renaissance man from the Renaissance, and an artist, a mathematician, engineer, scientist, known for painting the Mona Lisa and the Last Supper. We got Michelangelo, another Italian from the Renaissance, sculptor, painter, poet, famous works including painting the Sistine Chapel ceiling and the sculpture of David and the Pieta. Machiavelli from the Renaissance, political writer, wrote a book called The Prince, offered advice to rulers on how to stay in power. He really suggested do whatever it takes to stay in power. It's better to be feared than to be loved if you can't be both. Johann Gutenberg from the Renaissance invents a machine, maybe the most important invention of all time, called the printing press. He used movable metal type. Books now could be quickly printed, less expensive, and help spread ideas. First books were the Bible, and they were in one's native language. Martin Luther, the Reformation, the real significant leader of the Reformation. He wrote 95 complaints about the church. We call them 95 indulgences, or 95 theses, and many of them were about indulgences. John Calvin, another Reformation leader, he wanted Catholics to reject the church, started a new branch of Christianity called Protestantism. Followers were called Calvinists. King Henry VIII, Reformation, started a new church, the Anglican Church, or the Church of England, and broke away from the Catholic Church. Charles V from the Reformation, he was a Catholic. He was the Holy Roman Emperor, and he declared war anyone who decided to become Protestant. Pope Paul III from the Reformation decided that Catholics need to reform themselves. So he starts the Catholic Reformation at the Council of Trent. Ptolemy from early history, before the scientific revolution, but he believed in geocentric theory, or the idea that the earth is the center of the universe. It was taught by the Catholic Church for 1400 years. Copernicus of the scientific revolution, he develops a new model of the solar system called the heliocentric or sun-centered solar system. Galileo proved Copernicus was right with his invention. Well, he didn't invent the telescope, but he improved it. He studies the stars, and he ends up having a conflict with the Catholic Church. Sir Isaac Newton of the scientific revolution, he defines laws of force and of gravity. And gravity, his law is what explains what holds the solar system together. Francis Bacon of the scientific revolution, he said if you want to find truth, you got to examine facts. He develops a step-by-step method we call the scientific method to prove something true or false. John Locke of the Enlightenment, he said that we have a social contract between us and the government. They're going to protect our rights, and we're going to follow their laws. And he also said that we have three natural rights: life, liberty, and property. Jean-Jacques Rousseau of the Enlightenment, he believed the role of government was to protect our general will or our common good. He also believed in popular sovereignty or majority rule through voting. Baron de Montesquieu, he focused on limiting the government's power by separating the powers and using checks and balance where each branch can check the power of the other. Voltaire of the Enlightenment believed that freedom of speech was the best weapon against bad government. He also supported freedom of religion. Adam Smith of the Enlightenment, he believed that the government should not interfere with business or society. He comes up with the idea of capitalism, that the government should stay out of the economy, allow businesses to compete. If they compete, they will lower prices and hire the best workers. So those are the 20 people from Unit 5 of the birth of the modern age.